Hey everybody, I hope you're all doing well. This is Miss Mendes from Church Street School. Today I'm going to be leading you in a musical activity known as the Drawing Chant. If you have me for 3rd or 4th grade music at Church Street, we did something very similar to this, and that was the mouse or the rat drawing song, where we had to draw a mouse or a rat based on the words of the song. So notice that this is not a song, this is a chant. So we're going to be chanting the words instead of singing the words. So chanting in rhythm. I'm going to play the video as a demonstration to how this is going to go. You are going to need a pencil and paper for this. So go ahead and get some pencils and a piece of paper or two. And let's begin.
Once upon a time in a land so far, Beekeeper Young stood in his yard. He had no arms, but he didn't care. The beekeeper kept bees everywhere. One day the bees chased Beekeeper Young. He jumped in a pond so he wouldn't get stung. He saw a mountain overhead with 2 little caves where the beekeeper fled. He built 2 fires, and before he could stop, smoke came out of the mountain top.
And there you have it. So at the end of the chant, you should have a dog looking something like this. Let's go over it step by step, and I'll explain to you exactly how to draw this dog.
Once upon a time in a land so far.
So notice nothing was drawn yet for the first line of the lyrics. Let's see what happens for the second line.
Beekeeper Young stood in his yard.
So there's Beekeeper Young, right? But notice he has no arms because it says that in the next line.
He had no arms, but he didn't care. The beekeeper kept bees everywhere.
How many bees does Beekeeper Young have on each side of him? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. That's it. 1, 2, 3. So make sure you draw 3 bees, or 3 dots actually, on each side of Beekeeper Young. Now we're going to go into the second part of the lyrics. One day the bees chased Beekeeper Young. Let's take a look at that.
One day the bees chased Beekeeper Young. He jumped in a pond so he wouldn't get stung.
So again, nothing drawn during the first line of lyrics, but then the second line, he jumped in a pond so he wouldn't get stung. So here's our pond, nice big circle around him.
He saw a mountain overhead.
So there's the mountain, which is actually the dog's head, right? Let's see what's next.
With 2 little caves where the beekeeper fled.
So look at that. The 2 caves inside of the mountain. It's looking like the dog's eyes are being created here, but the eyes are not done. Watch what happens.
He built 2 fires, and before he could stop,
the 2 fires are his, as a lot of you said in class, his pupils in his eyes, right? His pupils in his eyes. Let's take a look at the last part.
Smoke came out of the mountain top.
So we got our smoke coming out of the mountaintop here. All right, let's take it a little slower and get your paper and pencil ready. Let's try it together. Once upon a time in a land so far, Beekeeper Young stood in his yard. He had no arms, but he didn't care. The beekeeper kept bees everywhere. One day the bees chased Beekeeper Young. He jumped in a pond so he wouldn't get stung. He saw a mountain overhead with 2 little caves where the beekeeper fled. He built 2 fires, and before he could stop, smoke came out of the mountain top. See, mine's not perfect, but you just do the best you can. You could start this video again and try it one more time. But what I'm going to do is start this from the beginning. Now you try.
Once upon a time in a land so far, Beekeeper Young stood in his yard. He had no arms, but he didn't care. The beekeeper kept bees everywhere. One day the bees chased Beekeeper Young. He jumped in a pond so he wouldn't get stung. He saw a mountain overhead with two little caves where the beekeeper fled. He built two fires, and before he could stop, smoke came out of the mountain top.
Were you able to follow along at the same time? Keep trying until you get it. Have fun, guys. Be well.